Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. We have some news, so let's get to it. The very first thing I want to tell you guys about is actually from Rebor, and if you can recall, they've kind of reinvented the Invicta Tyrannosaurus and are going to be releasing that very cool looking vintage style of a Tyrannosaurus in figure form. Well, they actually recently replaced the head of their Invicta Tyrannosaurus with a Ceratosaurus, so now they have kind of like a vintage style Ceratosaurus. I'm not entirely sure if this is actually a figure that they'll be releasing or if it's something that they just kind of did for fun, but I personally would love to see it actually get a release. I think it's a really cool look for a vintage Ceratosaurus and definitely a really nice, highly detailed model. And again, being a vintage dinosaur, of course, I would like to get my hands on it. Something I would love to have in my collection is pretty much any and every vintage dinosaur I can find. And then as far as Candid Sculpts goes, you can see some work that is currently in progress on his Triceratops, and it's a beautiful looking Triceratops for sure. A really nice, big and bulky looking Triceratops. Of course, you can see that it is still a work in progress. It is not completely finished, as there are definitely some key areas like the feet missing from the sculpt, but it's definitely a really nice looking Triceratops. Again, he produces a lot of ceratopsians and consistently produces really beautiful high quality ceratopsians, and this Triceratops is definitely following right in the same path as his previous models and looking beautiful. And then some information that was brought to my attention by Tyler Smith. There are a few dinosaur figures that you can see here that will be getting a release in Japan sometime this summer, I believe around June. They are by a company called Qualia, or at least I believe that's how you say the name there. You can see that there are 5 different figures right here, and each one looks really quite cool, honestly, although we don't have the best views of each and every figure individually. Yet we do have another image here that kind of shows them a little better, but again, without some really nice high quality up close images, it's hard to really tell just how nice the figures are, but they actually look really quite cool if you ask me, and I would love to get a hold of each and every one of them. However, I don't believe that they are slated for a release here in the United States, so maybe it's something that we may be able to pick up on eBay. I'm not entirely sure, although I will keep my fingers crossed that they will maybe see the light of day here in some way, shape, or form, because again, figures that look this cool, I would definitely like to get my hands on them. And then as far as Nanmu goes, they just released another image of their upcoming JP Male Tyrannosaurus Rex, and it now shows us the base for the figure, and it looks incredibly awesome. Again, they just continue to make me fall in love with this model more and more with each and every image that they release, and I really do like the base that they have here, as the Rex kind of appears to be walking up onto a ledge, just kind of overlooking his kingdom, and it's really cool looking overall. A really beautiful scene taking place right there before us with that really nice looking JP Male style Tyrannosaurus Rex. Again, they've perfected the sculpt, I'd say, on a male Jurassic Park Rex, and it's something we don't get very often. There's been very few releases over the years of a Jurassic Park male Tyrannosaurus, so I'm super happy to see one coming from Nanmu, and then the addition of the base is just pretty much the icing on the cake. Overall, this is one of my most anticipated models releasing from any company. And then as far as Beasts of the Mesozoic goes, we have a look at the really cool Yutyrannus that they are officially almost done working on. You can see the sculpt is progressing beautifully, and it looks incredible with all the feather detail on it. Again, definitely the best Yutyrannus, I would say, that is on the market currently. Again, who knows exactly if that will change once the PNSO version is revealed, but I feel like this version here is going to be a very, very hard figure to beat, as it looks incredible. And I'm just loving the progress that we've been seeing here on the Tyrannosaur line, as there's just been more and more prototypes being revealed consistently by David Silva, and this is one that I was really excited to actually see the full reveal of, and it's exactly as beautiful as I was hoping it to be, maybe even potentially better. So another incredible figure coming from the Tyrannosaur series from Beasts of the Mesozoic, and again, another release that will most definitely be the best of that species available. And then thanks to Collect Jurassic, we have a look at 2 new Amber Collection figures, the 2 newest figures that we knew that were coming but we hadn't had a look at previously, one of which is the Ian Malcolm figure, and honestly this one is a huge letdown for me. There's not really that much different about this figure in comparison to the previous one. A few little minor things, but honestly, it's really not that much of a difference between this and the previous figure. I was really hoping, like many people seem to have been, for a Lost World style Ian Malcolm, but unfortunately it appears as though that is not what we are getting, so I'm not entirely sure if I'm actually going to pick this one up. I do currently have it pre-ordered, but I may cancel my pre-order for it. I'm just not entirely sure at this point. But then we do have a look at the Ray Arnold figure, and that is super exciting because this is a figure that I was really excited to see get made, as we don't have any Ray Arnold figures so far from the Mattel line. And although I think he looks a little strange, sort of, in certain areas, but for the most part it looks pretty cool, and I like the addition of the computer and everything with him. I'll be very excited to see some alternate angles of him to kind of get an idea of how nice the Ray Arnold figure actually looks. I would have loved to have like some battle damage or something to pull off his arm. I'm not entirely sure if that is something that can be done. It almost appears as though that could be possible with the figure, but we'll just have to wait and see. Regardless, it is nice to see a really nice image of that figure, and we actually have a look, thanks to Jurassic Outpost, of another upcoming Carnotaurus figure, a feeding frenzy style Carnotaurus Toro, which is really cool. So far we've only had 2 different figures in this style, with the Velociraptor Blue and then the Indominus, and now a Carnotaurus. So of course I'm definitely going to be picking this one up. I actually really like the Velociraptor Blue and Indominus figures, so I'll definitely be picking this one up even if it wasn't a Carnotaurus. But of course, being a Carnotaurus, I'm desperately in need of it in my collection because I love Carnotaurus and really love the Jurassic World style Carnotaurus as well. So a very cool looking reveal here, really nice looking figure, and I'm psyched to see the Carnotaurus from Camp Cretaceous getting so much love now with a colossal version coming, and this kind of feeding frenzy version. There is a lot of Carnotaurus love being sent our way from Mattel. So as of right now, guys, that's all the news I've got. When more comes out, I'll be sure to send it your way, but until then, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.